My name is Oren, and I am a farmer. And if your vision of a farm is rolling hills and a pastoral landscape, I'm here to tell you that that vision no longer exists in this country. Agriculture has been reduced to a multimodal, brittle transportation network that takes our food from farms to trucks to depots to barrels to warehouses to trains to barrels to depots again before it ends up on your table. If you've ever been through the airport and you've seen the farmer's fridge, I'd ask you, or you see farm to table, where is the farmer, right? They don't exist, right? And that is the thing that we are looking to change with our business. Where I grew up in South Florida, we had Blood's Orange Groves, place that everyone went to. They had the best oranges. Is it true? Perhaps, right? But everyone said they were the best oranges. In Manhattan, less than 100 years ago, there was a farm in Manhattan that had chickens, goats, grew vegetables and fruits. It no longer exists. In Arlington, Virginia, where our first farm is located, there were farms that no longer exist. And this story is common all across the United States. When I lived in Silicon Valley, it was common, right, for you to wake up and see the blossoms from the orchards on your trees. But in the name of progress, some of these things get taken away. The difference, though, is that progress that builds office buildings, that builds apartments, that builds tech innovation centers, it leaves good food, organic food, the opportunity for farms, for your families, it leaves them away. Because to grow this orange grove again, that's like a 40-year proposition, right? It doesn't get bulldozed and just put back together. And so our mission is really simple, which is rather than moving food, we've decided to move the farm and bring those farms directly into the places where people work and live and can access them. Our ambition is to have a farm within 10 miles of 90% of the US population. And this is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to redefine what the future of our cities, our communities, of our work, of our health is. If you open up Netflix today, you will find every month there is a new documentary about soil, that weird guy Brian Johnson trying to save himself, some sort of other health-related thing. As a young man, I went to the grocery store and I was buying vitamins. And I remember buying like the Flintstones chewable vitamins and watching this dude in a Grateful Dead t-shirt and like socks and Tevas get the vitamins out of the refrigerator. And I thought, what the fuck are in those vitamins that they have to be in the refrigerator? But we know now, right, over the last 20 years, 30 years, right, that there's something to it, that fresh, organic food that comes from the source is really better for us, right? But of course, as I mentioned, because land is difficult, it's not just possible to plop a new farm in Arlington, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., and Boca Raton, Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina, Nashville, Memphis, San Jose, Redwood City, all the places that I've lived. And so we've had to create 3 innovations that allow our farms to be able to exist in these environments. The first is modular robotic growing system that's vertical. It allows us to transform any space, really, and turn it into a farm. Investing in soil to make sure that the products themselves, the lettuces, herbs, microgreens, root vegetables that we grow every week, have the best nutrients, right, and are best for the planet. And the third is innovations in plant breeding and plant genetics, making sure that the plants that we grow are the best for you, not the ones that can survive the arduous journey from like Mexico or Salinas or Yuma, Arizona, to make their way through that ridiculous modal transportation network that I identified before. And so all 3 of these things come together to create our farms. Our product is a farm in a box that produces a year-round harvest of organic vegetables that are delivered directly to people within 10 miles. That includes lettuces, herbs, root vegetables, microgreens, and all sorts of specialty items. People love it, right? These are made with AI, but these are real quotes. The pictures are. The quotes are real. And lastly, I would say is that if you're thinking franchising, this type of model with farming, behind every farmer in the world is another farmer. It is inherent in the nature of the business to be a part of a support group, a part of an ecosystem. Our model is to connect and to support farmers with small business entrepreneurship, with high efficiency supply chain, verticalized, and innovations that make the best products and the most profitable outcomes for the farmers. This is our newest farm that's going up in Fairfax, Virginia, and happy to answer any questions. All right, Sam, finally, I was watching Sam. He didn't get to ask any questions before, so I'm excited that you jumped in here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm aware that electricity is usually an issue with vertical farms, or at the very least, electricity costs are a big factor of the cost, and they tend to be volatile, and also electricity isn't always reliable. I actually have a friend, a classmate, who has a vertical farm in Massachusetts, and they've had to deal with some outages, and it's a big risk. So how do you manage that uncertainty around the volatility and the risk associated?
Sure. Well, one of the things is that I think the energy problems you're describing really exist in plant factories, right? These massive, tens of thousand square foot warehouses that are basically wholesaling their products to grocery stores. We spend tens of dollars a day on electricity, not hundreds or thousands of dollars, at a time. So we don't see that as an issue. I would say that the other thing is that the plants are incredibly resilient, right? Sometimes it's cloudy outside, right? It happens. So we haven't seen that to be a problem. Our farms are right-sized or Goldilocks to avoid the kinds of high intensity that these other failed, endeavors before us, Plenty, Bowery, App Harvest, and so forth.
They didn't fail. They're still in business, but that was an issue they had to manage.
Which one of those, Bowery? Or?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, your friends. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was correct, yeah. I'm just kidding.
How long the process are you with franchising? Is it like in the conceptual stage, or are you really actively trying to find franchisees?
Yeah, so we're in the registration stage, so we'll be doing that hopefully starting this summer, bringing on our first community members and partners.
And any numbers yet about,
Not that I would share with you. I can give you the high level. Farms are very profitable, but that's because they are right sized, right? Today, according to the USDA, a farmer receives 18.5 cents for every dollar that you spend at the grocery store. When you reduce that and you make the farm community within 10 miles of it, you collect $1 though. So we see margins around 44 to 47% on the product. Farms are profitable very quickly. They're run by 4 to 6 people on a daily basis. We have a large apprenticeship program that allows people from no background to some background to be able to excel through it. And then what you do is you replicate the farms, right? So you don't grow bigger farms like some of the priors have done. Not your friends, I'm sure it's great. But you just build another farm, right? And then you build another farm, you build another farm.
And what about square footage, maximum, minimum?
Yeah, so interestingly, if you see here in the sort of draft rendering for the Fairfax location, we're looking at less than 5,000 square feet to support about 400 people weekly with the CSA basket. And what we're doing is more like ground leasing here and then building our greenhouse structures on top. And you're looking at about a quarter to a half acre. This is an old Shell gas station in Fairfax Circle, Virginia. And so it's been vacant for about 20 years, and we'll be able to revitalize it to provide something really new. There is really a McDonald's, behind it, and so we're really excited to get into some of those wars. We wouldn't mess with the Chick-fil-A people, but the McDonald's people are fair game for sure.
What's the investment cost for that? How much does it cost to get those up?
I don't have anything to say about it today.
And what are some of your revenue channels? Are you going to do more B2B or B2C?
Yeah, we are direct to consumer through what's known as a community-supported agriculture model. So people buy a share of the farm. They buy them in 4-week and 10-week increments. They can skip weeks or move them around. And so it's direct to consumer.
And what's like the average cost of those shares?
The 10-week is it's $35 a week or $350. Our AOV today is about $306 per purchase.
What is AOV?
Oh, average order value. So every time someone swipes their credit card, its average is about $300+.